Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the introduction and great to be here. My name is indeed Joop Hazenberg. I like to explore the world and to write about what's happening with our societies. And normally, indeed, I write about politics and about European integration and about globalization. But for my latest book, I found an even geekier subject, and it's stuff for total nerds, but it's going to really affect and maybe end the world as we speak. And I'm talking about advanced technology. And the world is going to enter the fourth industrial revolution in a matter of years. And this is what I would like to talk about to you, because it may well spell the end of humanity. And tonight I will not give you the option between the red and the blue pill, but I will take you down into the rabbit hole of technology. So, what is this fourth industrial revolution actually about? It is about a collective breakthrough of technologies at the same time, and they're coming from the laboratory stage into our homes in just a matter of a few years. And I'm talking about a collective breakthrough of 5G, artificial intelligence, robotization, and many others. And together, they have the power to transform our economies and societies, but they will also lead to existential issues about humanity. And this is what we'll see. Let's start first with artificial intelligence. So I'll run you through the different technologies. And let's have a look at the video.
So how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around?
At 12 p.m.
We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15.
Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for?
Just a woman's haircut for now.
Okay, we have at 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. is fine.
Okay, what's her first name?
The first name is Lisa.
Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Great. Have a great day. Bye.
So, does anyone know what the Turing Test is? Basically, this is about a computer that is so smart that the person who talks to the computer, he or she does not know that on the other side is actually a machine. And with this product, Google Duplex it's called, I think that Google has surpassed the Turing Test. And AI has really, artificial intelligence has really enormous potential. It can really change the world, much more beyond than just making appointments for hairdressers. And it's a very complicated story what AI is, but basically it's about computers who are so developed that they can program and train themselves just on the basis of data. And there's machine learning and deep neural networks and other technologies involved. AI already is here in the form of Siri and Alexa and other smart home speakers that you can use to order pizzas or to play music. But it is also available in the form of software to detect cancer cells, but also to tag your friends on Facebook pictures and to have other applications, maybe for instance like tagging, to have Netflix binge-watching series being presented to you as this is the next thing to do. In the future, we will have self-driving cars, already maybe by 2025, and also we will have personal medication and many other applications. And AI will be so pervasive that it will become actually like electricity or water. So actually, AI will become a daily fact of life. Next stop in our discovery is the fourth is robotization, and again we're going to look at a video. So what you're seeing here is it looks like geese on wheels, but it's a bit more than a joke, because it's actually very difficult for robots to pick up stuff and then to move it to the other side. I think this is really hilarious. And the funny thing about the robotic revolution is that it's enabled by the cloud services revolution, because thanks to clouds, robots do not longer need to carry a brain. So that means they become much cheaper, much lighter, and much more agile. And this brain is so important, this online brain, because they can also then teach each other about how to, for instance, indeed pick up stuff. So they can exchange information. And robots will be soon all around us in the form of the little guy who sweeps your floors, until drones who will deliver your next Amazon package. The third step is 5G mobile networks, and that's much more than just smarter, faster 4G. It's really about total new networks, and 5G will be very much faster than 4G. It will also be a very versatile network. And the thing about 5G is it's not so much about connecting people, but it's more about connecting machines with each other. And that can be anything, from cars to robots, but also about fridges and even washing machines and sensors. And by 2025, we'll have over 25 billion IoT devices in the world, and a lot of them will be connected over 5G. And that means that we'll not only connect everyone with each other in the world, but also everything. So everything will be connected. There are some other key technologies that I'll just quickly name. The first one is 3D printing. There's a lot of hype around this, but it's already being used. For instance, in Amsterdam, this is a 3D printed house, which is, I think, in Amsterdam North. But the idea about 3D printing is that you will be able to print your shoes in the near future. Secondly, nanotechnology. That's also something that is still a bit more in the laboratory stage. We already have nanotechnology, which is about technology on an almost atomic level, so really, really small, which makes shirts being resistant to stains and wine, which is really great, but also to, for instance, have self-fixing paint. So if you have scratches on your car, then the paint will just fix itself. And in the future, nanotechnology will be able to have personal medication, but also very advanced use cases that we, at this point in stage, cannot really define. Thirdly, blockchain. Michael also mentioned it. The most famous one is application is Bitcoin. But for me, the key about blockchain is that it will decentralize authority. Thanks to blockchain, we will start to trust mathematics instead of banks. And one application is, for instance, that in the future you can drive your car before it becomes self-driving, your electric vehicle, to a city you've never been before, find a privately owned charging point, and then charge your car. Thanks to blockchain, this transaction will be done on the spot. Fourthly, augmented and virtual reality. These are maybe acronyms you've heard of before. It's very popular with gamers because they can really then disappear into virtual worlds. But also think about holograms. So teleconferences with holograms. Already tried this. This is really amazing that you can see the other person in front of the room who's even not there. But think also about machine workers who can have a manual in real time just in front of them so they can fix the machine on the spot. So that's a lot of technology, and I think even for non-geeks it must be interesting. But what is actually the consequences of all this new technology which will come with the fourth industrial revolution on our societies? Well, on the one hand, technology will make our lives better and longer and easier. So the children that are born now, they will easily live into the 22nd century. And actually a third of the young kids now will reach the age of 100. Secondly, the robots, they will take over, not take over our jobs, but rather to take over tasks. And that will drastically change the structure or the character of work. And thirdly, technology will help us to address a lot of the issues that we have in the 21st century. Climate change, but also it will strengthen food security, mainly thanks to things like engineering of DNA. And it will also help us tackle other challenges in this century. But then there are dilemmas. Does anyone recognize any of the people in this GIF? Sometimes I see Tom Cruise, sometimes I see Paris Hilton. Well, let me tell you, these people do not exist. They're not real. So what we're going to see is a blurring lines between reality and fiction, and these are called deepfakes. Some of you may have seen a video in which Obama calls President Trump a complete and total dipshit. And it really looks real. So it has the potential, this technology, to mislead millions of people, especially during election time. Secondly, an enter privacy. And I'm mainly talking about a facial recognition software, which is already being installed in stores to track people, even if they don't know that they're being tracked as a person. So you can come back to after a few months in the store, and the AI software will exactly know where you've been and what you've bought. In China, the Chinese government is now developing a system in which they can track down any Chinese citizen within 3 seconds on the street. This is happening now as we speak. And thirdly, increasing inequality. Major problem in the world. And we all think that it's globalization which is driving inequality and enlarging the gap between poor and rich, but it's actually mainly technology that is driving this gap bigger and bigger. So according to some experts, the future could actually be more extreme, and we could end in some kind of dystopian future that resembles the world of the Matrix, of the Terminator. Or we could end up in a world that is about Blade Runner kind of societies, iRobot, even 1984. And this is possible if general artificial intelligence breaks through. And that means that computers will become aware and they will become much smarter than humans. And that could spell the end of the world as we know it. But think a bit also about quantum technology, one thing that I have not mentioned before, quantum technology, which will render all encryption obsolete, which means that all the data of banks, of WhatsApp, but also of secret services will become public, and that will lead to total chaos. So, but that is for the long run. On the, let's say, short run, in the next 10 years, the fourth industrial revolution may well affect humanity. The issue is that physical and digital systems will merge, and that will lead to a blurring of what is real and what is fiction. But it goes way beyond fake news and about deepfake videos. It's about the technology that gets almost inside our body in the form of chipsets, in the form of nanotechnology to fix diseases in our bodies, the role that artificial intelligence plays, and will become really dependent on robot systems to run our societies. Secondly, we will also pay a price for being online. And I think because some companies are becoming really powerful in the world, that our souls are actually being used into data streams in order to capture value. It's happening already right now. And that means that privacy, but also mental health, our social connections, and even democracy will suffer as a result of technology. Well, so in the end, the fourth industrial revolution will make our lives better, but it will also change life itself. That's, I think, the one thing you need to remember of my presentation. Everything that has a beginning has an end. So that's okay, but that also means it's the end of this speech. Thank you.